Ain't it funny how they think they can stop me? Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. They told me they like it when I get cocky. You cannot stop me.
You are now tuned in to the Dads Who Lift podcast. I have your host, Tyler Gaeta, and I have with me co-host
Jonathan Baumgartner.
Housekeeping, guys. Pay the fucking fee. We don't charge monetary. This is free. We want to give value. All my content's free. All we're trying to do is add value to you. So if you got value in any way, change your perception, anything, got a laugh out of it, whatever the fuck it may be, we need you to tell a friend. We're getting 12,000 plus downloads on this podcast. We're getting hundreds of listens every single week. If you guys tell a friend, they tell a friend, they tell a friend, that's how this thing fucking grows, guys. That's how we move this thing along. I don't want to run ads. I don't want to do that shit. I want to grow it organically. We're here. We're showing up every week. I committed to a podcast every fucking week. I'm even shooting Laurel's leaving and I it's going to take me a few weeks to find somebody else probably. I'm even shooting 8 episodes before she leaves just so that we can continue giving you guys content. And not only is this free, but it takes our time and our value, and it actually costs us fucking money. Laurel don't work for free. Media directors don't work for free. So we're trying to add value to you guys. So please just share it. That's your part. We're doing our part. Share it. That's your part. If you don't like what we have to say, then don't share it. That's cool. Then you probably shouldn't listen either. But if you're one of these guys doing hundreds of downloads or hundreds of listens every single week, please do your part and share it. We really appreciate it. Tag me too. I love it when you guys tag me. So share the fucking episode. Tag me, Tyler Gaeta _DWL. Might change it to DWL official. I haven't decided yet. But tag me and I'll reshare that shit. So share it on IG, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, whatever, guys. We just need your help. Again, we have Badass Apparel, www.dadswhoLiftApparel.com. We have hats, shirts, tanks, hoodies, beanies, all kinds of badass shit. We're on IG as Dads Who Lift Apparel. Facebook is Dads Who Lift Apparel. And then we have a Facebook group called Dads Who Lift Official. Again, 55,000 like-minded dads trying to be the best selves to stay fit. If that's something that interests you, check that group out. It's called Dads Who Lift Official. We are also hiring for a media director. So if you are in the Omaha, Nebraska surrounding area, and you or you know of somebody, if you have the skills or you know of somebody that has the skills to be a media director, shoot content, edit podcasts, social media experience, DM me, reach out to me. Definitely looking for someone local that can come in and be a great asset to our team. So, in this episode, man, I really wanted to talk about, and it's kind of a stupid topic up front, but I think that it holds a lot of weight and a lot of value. And I think that it's something that a lot of people really overlook. And this is something that actually I heard as a big part to a coaching call from a Lions Not Sheep, Lions Den, which I'm in, coaching group from Sean Whalen. It was a coaching call from Sean Whalen. And he actually even talks about it in his book as well. But it's really hit me lately. And what it is so the topic is not like this big, huge fucking thing. It's date nights. Right. But for anybody that's in a relationship, married or not, and or really just even wants to get into a relationship, this is a really big fucking thing that most of us overlook. Like if you're anything like me and you're a super driven, success oriented individual, you get very fucking full with your day-to-day tasks.
Right.
And a lot of times by the end of the day, I do not have the capacity to give to my significant other, my lover, my spouse, anybody else, because I've blown all this energy throughout the day. And I've always said, we only have so much time in a day allotted to us. We only have so much energy that we can expend in a day, right? Yep. So you have to be very cognizant of where that energy is going because you only have so much energy in the day. And the really cool thing, the really beautiful thing is no matter who the fuck you are, whether you're whether you're fucking Donald Trump, or whether you're the janitor at the school or the cook at the school or you're fucking driving a Rolls Royce, you have the same exact time in a day that everybody else does. And you have the same energy that you can expend in a day that everybody else does. What makes a difference in who we are is how we spend that time and how we spend that energy. Right. So, a lot of times I'll spend that energy throughout the day on my passion, on my mission. And then by the end of the day, I've only got a certain little, small amount of energy to get back to my significant other. After I, give energy to my son after school, I gave energy to work all day. And it's become more and more apparent to me, just with, so my girlfriend had quit her full-time job, a few weeks back, maybe a month ago now, and came in and started working for me and my companies. And it's been a great thing. She's a fucking amazing asset. And she's doing a killer ass job. But with that being said, we're actually together more now. We're together like 24/7. You know what I mean? And before, she worked 9 to 5 at a job off-site, right? So we did not spend as much time together. And what I found is, while we spend more time together now, we are a lot closer, but we have also kind of lost that, not really lost, but it's hard to, I can see through time that it would be hard to keep that initial fucking like spark and shit going, because we are together like 24/7, right? So there's not like as much as excitement as there used to be, I guess.
Right.
Like when you don't see someone sometimes, like they say the heart grows fonder when you're away, like a significant other goes on a trip for a week and they come back like, oh fuck, you miss them so much more, or you love them so much more, right? It's kind of the same thing when they leave every single day. And so what I found is that it's kind of just, it's like a catch-22. We're doing really great. Things are really great. We've become a lot closer, which is great. Our lives are more intertwined and on the same level now, which is amazing for us to be able to move forward. But it's just like finding that excitement and that spark, or keeping that excitement and that spark together. I can see could be a very big fucking issue if we didn't start doing these date nights. So what we started doing is every single week, we do a date night every single week.
Nice.
And we get a sitter and we go out. And now these date nights don't have to be like this extravagant fucking deal. Like, we're both on meal prep right now. So we're not even, and we're doing these date nights during the week, and our weekends, we like to spend with our children. So the weekends are all about that stuff. And the weekend is when we have our cheat meal. Right. So we're not like going to dinner on these date nights. Right. But guys, you can do anything. You can take your wife shopping. You can go walk around the mall. You can go walk around a park. You can go walk around a lake. You can go play video games. You can fucking go see a movie. I mean, there's so many things that you could do. Even taking time away from the children and just going to fucking Target together for an hour. Walking around Target together for an hour. Just having time that's completely to yourself, so it's not all about work and about everyday life. Just time that you guys can spend together and bond every single week as your own fucking time without anybody else coming into that space. Makes a big fucking difference
no distractions,
on the relationship.
No work, no kids.
It makes a big difference on the relationship. So I feel like this is a big key part to people keeping every area of their life full and keeping every area of their life moving forward. And guys or females, if you guys are single right now, this is something that you got to remember, is that all that effort that it took. So whenever you find somebody, right, it usually takes effort to get them locked in, right?
Right.
So it's usually like, females, when you first few dates, you're like, oh, all done up. You know, you got your makeup on, you got your hair did, you got everything done. Oh, he can't see me this way. He can't see me that way. You put all this work into impressing somebody, right? And guys are the same way.
100%.
Oh, I went and had my beard shaved, or I got a haircut before this date, or I washed my truck before I picked her up. Like we put in all this work to get somebody. And then what happens is that's dating, right? That's dating them. That's I can't think of the word I'm thinking of.
Courting them.
Courting them, right? But what happens is once we get them, we stop courting them and we stop dating them. Guys and girls, both sides do this. And that's not good for the relationship. And so even guys that are single, females that are single, just remember that you never stop dating your spouse. You never stop dating your significant other if you want to have a fulfilled, loving, good, exciting relationship. Because I don't want to just have some mundane ass fucking relationship where it's just like, it's all right. We're doing this shit together. We're partners. It's okay, but we're more like friends, right? I want this shit to be exciting. I want this shit to be like passion. I want this shit to be like tear your fucking clothes off every time I see you. I want shit to be wild. And for that to happen and to continue happening, a lot of times that happens in the beginning to most relationships, but it falls off. And for that to continue to happen, it's like anything else in your life. You have to be cognizant of it and you have to work towards it. You have to put it in action. These things don't just fucking happen by wishing them. You have to actually take action and set things up. So do this shit every night, guys. If you're in a relationship, do this now. If you're married, do this now. I don't care if you've been married a month, if you've been married 15 years or 30 years. I don't care if, you and your wife can't even stand each other. Start doing date nights once a week. One night a week, even if it's just for an hour, doesn't matter. Get a fucking sitter, go do something, go walk around the lake, go walk down the road, have a date night every single week and watch what happens to your relationship.
It'll definitely grow. One of my favorite date nights with Caitlin, last year we took both kids because their birthdays are about a month apart. So we went just one whole weekend and stayed at Great Wolf Lodge, did the whole Great Wolf Lodge thing. And there was just one night, we had been there a couple days. And it was like, hey, you guys stay in the room and hang out. Bella's old enough to watch Little Man. We literally went and got coffee and walked around the hotel for about an hour and a half.
Yep.
And I wrote her on a sticky note. Here's another Sean Whalen date trick. Grab a sticky note packet, go around your house.
Yep.
Open her underwear drawer, put it in her closet, put it in the laundry room, put it in cupboard, put it in places that you don't think she's gonna find for 6 months. Because in 6 months, when she finally goes to wear that pair of high-heeled boots on the date concert you're taking her to, and she pulls out that sticky note, I've done that before. And she left them all around the house. And I thought that was great because I get to read it as a reminder, hey, I better live up to this expectation that I've already set for her. And you and I have talked about this a lot at length. When we go into a relationship and we court, we set the precedence of what we expect or the other person to expect. So you coming in always, done up to the nines and just being chivalrous and being a gentleman and doing all these things. If that's what she falls in love with, why would you ever stop doing that? If she falls in love with the fact that you open the door for her, when you get out of the car, why would you stop doing that? If she falls in love with the fact that you intentionally take her daughter on a date once a month and spend time with her daughter, why would you ever stop doing that? So when it comes to date nights, and one thing that I've learned, it goes equally so for your spouse as it does for your kids. I take my son, and actually just yesterday, I was working on a laptop. I was just cramming. He came out, it was like 6:30, and we were home. Hey, Dad, I'm kind of hungry. Oh, shoot, man, I totally forgot. What do you want to do for dinner? You want to go to that date night place? Let's do it, man. And he's got it locked in his head. We went to China Buffet, and to him, it's a date night because he can have donuts and ice cream and Jell-O and try a million things and doesn't have to eat them all. But he remembers. He's like, let's go to that date night place. Right on, man. It's stuck with him, and he remembers those moments and those date nights. And so I honestly will admit I'm very focused right now on where I want to be in 10 years. I know what my life looks like. I'm dialed in. My girlfriend hates it because I'm so focused on that more than anything right now, because I just know where I want us to be in 10 years for the life that we're creating for each other. And I have to remind her equally as she has to remind me, hey, I'm not going after the money. I'm not doing all this. I'm doing this so we can have a life together. Here's our dream. Here's what we've talked about. I'm better at focusing on that and manifesting so we can have that life when it comes down the road. She is amazing at here and now and in the moment. I got to get better at letting her take the lead on that. And again, in some relationships, maybe the woman is more at setting the date nights and scheduling those things for her. And I told her, I'm all in. I want to do those date nights. Help me out. We're a partner. I'm so focused on trying to set us up to be free and to have our kids understand what we're doing and learn these things from us that I'm bad about courting her regularly. And I know it's fundamental. And one of the things I believe in more than anything is being a three-dimensional man. Being connected in your faith, being connected in your finances, and being connected, in a place with your family. You have to be in all three of those areas dialed in, but not so over focused on my finances side that I lose focus on my family, because then that's going to make it worse for me in the long run. So all three of those, I believe, it's our responsibility as a man to focus on our family, focus on our finances, and focus on our faith. All three of those together, intentionally doing those things.
Men, you are supposed to court your women.
Fact.
You have to court your women. Quit being little bitches. Set it up. Make the fucking move. Plan the date. Don't tell her where you're going. Set up the date nights. Call the sitter. It's your job. That's it. It's your job. Right? Do it. I don't care if you're bad at it. I don't care if you don't like doing it.
Do it.
Do it. You got to do it. That's the whole point. Right? fuck, I forgot what I was going to say.
Be intentional. And like you said, a date doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't have to be overly planned out or thought out. Just make the time. Make it a priority. Hey, babe, we're going to go, like you said, go to the store without the kids.
So I used to believe in separating my work life and my home life. I used to always say, hey, I have a really good work life, home life balance, right? And what I've realized as in these last few years, as have become in control 100% of my life and my destiny, is that once I create a life that I want to live, I no longer have to separate my work and home life balance. And now I can bring my home life into my work life and my work life into my home life, and not in a bad way. What that means is like, if I'm going to a fucking apparel shoot, I can bring my son. And that's cool to include him in that, for him to see, oh, this is what dad does. This is how, dad shoots this apparel. I'm buying another house, another Airbnb up in Colorado right now. So Thursday we are heading to Thursday night. Actually, it's going to be a long ass day because my son has open house Thursday evening.
Exciting. So
we're driving 8 hours at like 5 o'clock, not going to get there till like 2 a.m. But anyways, Thursday night I'm heading to Colorado to go look at this house and then do the inspection on Friday. And I'm pulling my son out of school to come and see it so that he can see that process, so that he can see the house that we're buying in person, so that he feels like he's part of this life that I'm creating and building for all of us. Right. So I don't try to 100% separate my home work life balance anymore. I integrate them. And that doesn't mean that I work 24/7 every single night. I'm still very cognizant of like, listen, every single night, my son gets special time with dad every fucking night. And when you said like, hey, you don't only court your women, you court your children also.
Right.
100%. If you're somebody that needs to set a date night with your child every single week, do that as well. Right. The way that I do it is I spend at least 30 minutes, if not an hour, with my son every single night that's devoted just to him and I. Whether we're playing a game, whether we throw the football, whether we're just laying on the couch watching TV, vegging out, doesn't matter. But I spend time where it's like, hey, bud, get off your Xbox, come hang out with dad. And it's known that it's our time to hang out. Right. And I do that every single night. So again, even though my spouse is in that, it's still like she may be sitting on the couch with us, laying with us. So it's like our time together as a family. It's still like me and my son's special time. So again, this makes it even more important for me to court her and give her her own special time as well, and give the relationship its own special time.
That was a solid point. And I like the word incorporate. Because I am finding I have a different schedule now because I got to have flexibility to meet people after hours, home from work, whatever. I'm finding that incorporating everything, they don't feel, so if you're just busy with work and you're not scheduling intentionally date nights and family time, your other people who are important to you are going to feel unimportant.
Yeah.
The more that I intentionally integrate them into my schedule as a whole, my whole life schedule. I got a calendar that's a personal calendar, a work calendar. I have a Caitlin and I calendar. I got 3 different calendars. And the more that I incorporate all that, I find out I don't feel as guilty having to maybe work late one night because I know I got date night the next night. Or it just allows me to better.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good point.
Better see because again, she's my partner and he's my son. And the life that
the time is preset up and carved out. So you're like, hey, if I got to work an extra hour tonight, I don't want to do that every fucking night, but hey, I can do that tonight because tomorrow I already have 2 hours set aside that's just for me and my woman.
Exactly. Yep. It makes it, you personally will feel less guilt and your kids will feel like they're not being, or your spouse, neglected or left out because just intentionally set time. I found it has helped me a lot, and I like the way that you said integrated. It's completely integrated. I know, hey, man, I got to work. Hey, bud, dad's got some laptop work when we get home, go play and hang out. I don't feel guilty or like I'm a bad dad because I know, hey, Thursday we're going out to dinner for your birthday. And Saturday, I got a lot of time planned with you, bud, this week. I'm not skimping you because your time is equally as important to me, but now I can maneuver it around throughout my week. And hey, maybe I don't hang out with you, on Tuesday for the whole hour because of Wednesday. It definitely feels great. And to have a partner and communicating, hey, this is our goal, this is what we're working towards. It's a full life incorporation and it's balanced. It's way more 100%. Balanced. It's way more balanced when you can do that because you're not, I'm only working this many hours and I got to do this. it gives you freedom to have that flexibility through and through, and you're not set on the 9 to 5 constraint, or I got to spend this half hour at this exact time this day with my, significant other. So having that incorporated is huge to having a better balanced life, work, home, relational. And again, I used to preach, and I try to preach to my team and employees, we want that work, life, home balance. But even in this industry, we got to be flexible. We talk about it all the time, being flexible and moving around and having that. So I like that perspective on it.
Yeah, 100%. That's been another great one, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Dads Who Live podcast. Again, please pay the fee. We don't ask for anything monetary. We don't ask for you to actually pay for this fucking subscription or podcast or anything like that. We don't run ads every fucking 15 minutes. All that we ask is that you tell a friend, you share it on iTunes, you share it on Spotify, you share it on IG, you share it on YouTube, you share it on Facebook. Tag me on IG. I'm Tyler Gata _DWL, maybe official. I might change it, but tag me. I love that shit. I'll fucking reshare it, guys. But hundreds of downloads a week. 12,000 downloads plus. We need you guys to get this message out. Help us spread this thing. Help us add value. That's all we're trying to do. Again, we have apparel on www.dadswiftapparel.com. We're on IG as Dad Swift Apparel. Facebook is Dad Swift Apparel. We also have a Facebook group. Again, a group on Facebook called Dads Who Lift Official. 55,000 like-minded dads trying to be the best selves to stay fit. If that's something that interests you, check that group out. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure to do those date nights. This is something that, don't just talk about it. Don't just think about it. Do it fucking now. Set it up now. Find a sitter once a night, once a week. They can come for 2 hours or an hour, like clockwork. Just set it up. Hey, I don't know where we're going yet, but hey, I need to find somebody that can come every single Wednesday night from 6 to 8. Done. If you don't have kids, set it up. Honey, every single night from 6 to 8, we're going to do something. Don't know what yet, but we're going to do something. Do it now.
One thing on the housekeeping. We cover a lot of topics. We come up with these topics ourselves, things that are relevant for us in our lives that we try to share that we think you guys will gain value from. But if there's something we haven't talked about, comment. Hey man, I'm struggling. 100%. I'm struggling with this as a dad.
Or DM us.
Send it to us. I mean, we would love to get more feedback from you guys as a group. We cover a lot of topics, but if there's something that we haven't that you're actually struggling with, I'd love to go over in a podcast or 2 podcasts and share our take, our thoughts, things that might have worked for us. So if there's truly something, do your part too. Comment, give us some feedback, give us some ideas. We'll keep coming up and creating our own content, but we want to help you as much as we can. So feedback is definitely appreciated.
100%. All right. Take care, guys.
They told me that when I get cocky, ain't it funny how they think they can stop me? Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. Try to be me.